After Us is an enjoyable, chill game. I played and beat the entire game in just over 7 hours, and I'd like to share with you some of the takeaway I had from the experience. It's a platformer based around the aftermath of the end of days, playing as a small spirit of life, working on bringing life back to our precious Earth. After Us starts out with Gaia, the spirit of life, playing within a sanctuary full of animals, when the animals suddenly start disappearing. After the last spirit is gone, Gaia's mother begins to speak, telling how all the animals have gone extinct on a dead Earth. It's up to Gaia to traverse the world and help free the spirits of animals so Mother can rekindle life on Earth. After Us does have a rating for teen due to humans being depicted as naked statues in their last moments. There are no nipples or genitalia, however. The faces on the statues can be quite harrowing if you close up on them, but not nightmare-inducing. And there is the depiction of the last animals and how they died. That could be kind of rough. Other than that, it's a very calming game that kids could probably hang out and watch. The majority of After Us will be spent jumping around. It is a platforming game after all. Gaia's traversal abilities were available from the start, and introduced as they were needed. Things like sprinting before a jump to go farther, and a double jump to increase distance. I did have some issues with the camera zooming in and out depending on the area, causing a major issue with depth perception. A small circle shows on the ground where Gaia will land, but I still missed my landing quite often. Thankfully, I got brought back very close to where I fell. The heads-up display was clear of anything getting in the way of seeing what was happening in the world. No stamina to worry about while jumping around. The only thing to keep an eye out for was a black fog moving in from the outside of the screen as Gaia got hurt. If things got too dark, she would die. It's not all jumping around to the goal, though. Left behind on a dead planet are Devourers, oil-covered humans searching for any life they can snuff out. When Gaia got close, they immediately started closing in. In order to defend herself, Gaia could run and dodge attacks until she was in a safe spot to throw her heart out, shooting through enemies, cleansing the oil covering their bodies. Gaia could then call her heart back, hitting all the Devourers again. Once cleansed, they would fade away, no longer a threat. There were 8 main spirits to save in order for Mother to have enough energy to bring life back. But in between those were 100 extra spirits to be found and saved along the way. They are completely optional, so if you wanted, you could ignore the poor lost souls of those animals. A lot of them are hidden, but Gaia can locate them by singing and watching the magical notes fly in the direction of a nearby spirit. As they were saved, the animals would start to show up around the world, bringing some much-needed life and movement while traveling. All 8 main spirits will be tucked away in their own unique area. The developers did an excellent job making every new area feel and look different than any other areas in the game. The gameplay was the same, but the new look made the monotony easy to ignore. And some areas had minor puzzles or speed tests to overcome, so there was a lot of fun to be had. Gaia was small compared to the world she was exploring. The majority of the game would show me the way to go, with the environment only letting me go a certain direction. But when it opened up, I was overwhelmed by everywhere I could go. Once I started moving, though, it wasn't so bad. It did get kind of annoying everywhere I could go that had nothing for me to grab, and it did make it a little harder to find where I had to go to move forward. I enjoyed trying to decipher how the world died by the environments, but there were memories that could be found on the bodies of some Devourers. Each area had its own set, showing a small story about the old world. How things were good for a minute, but overdevelopment destroyed all that was nice, or any number of other things that went wrong, causing the downfall of all life. I would be remiss if I didn't express how good the music was. I really liked all the different tunes playing in the background as I explored. The music fit in with the areas, giving it more feeling. When I purchased the game, I got the soundtrack with it, so now I have a few more great songs to add to my collection. After Us was one of the most relaxing games I've ever played. It wasn't too easy though. There were some challenging sections between combat and finding my way through. It was an enjoyable experience, and I am excited to get the ratings underway. Visually, the game was very pretty. I liked the designs depicting Earth's final days. They definitely got their point across. I'm giving it a 5. The story was good. A little extreme on how some of the animals went extinct, but it was unique and intriguing. I'm giving it a 4. Gameplay was very good for a platformer. With challenges thrown in, keeping it interesting, I'm going with another 4. Replayability isn't very high. The game was good, but there wasn't anything I'd really care to go through again. It's a one and done kind of game, so it's getting a 1. There was a lot of fun to be had. I was surprised to find a relaxing game that didn't fall over the line into boring. It's getting another 4. With all of that, After Us gets an average score of 3.6, placing it on the mid-shelf. An excellent game to play when you have some free time and don't want a sweaty challenge. And the soundtrack is great. It's just benefits all around. Now that we're done with that, it's time to move on to the next one. I will see you there. Bye!